And this is Mike with Toy Train Tips and Tricks. And a common question that I see in a lot of internet forums and also in the comments on my own page is what's the difference between wiring on a reverse loop with a 2-rail system versus a 3-rail track system? And there are very significant differences between the two. In this case, 3 rails is better than 2, and here is why. In a 2-rail reverse loop, and again, this doesn't matter whether it's AC power or DC power, it doesn't matter whether it's conventional or command, it all has the same issue. And that is, if we look at the power coming from our transformer, one polarity goes to one rail, one polarity goes to the opposite rail. That way your motor will turn. And this is great as long as everything stays in the same orientation. So let's follow this red rail here. And it goes around the loop, and when it comes back here, you notice now it's on the opposite side, and it's making contact with the green rail. Same thing on this side. You have a short circuit. Nothing's going to run if you don't do something special to the track and to the wiring. So what you have to do with a 2-rail system is you have to insulate this loop electrically from the rest of the layout. You also need to install a switch, usually a double pole, double throw switch, that you can change the polarity to this track. And here's what happens. So the train enters this way, you set the polarity so the train can continue. Then at some point you stop, switch the polarity here, switch the polarity here on your power pack, and then your train can continue on back out onto the layout. So it can be complex, especially if you want to do it automatically. It can be done, but it involves relays and more complicated systems. So in any case, you have to do special wiring in order to do a 2-rail reverse loop. So those 2-railers who then come to the 3-rail world are surprised that they don't have to do that for 3-rail. And here is why. Again, it doesn't matter AC or DC power. It has to do with the track, not the power. So again, let's look at our transformer here. We'll take our common wire, which goes to the 2 outside rails, and you follow it around, and the outside rail is always the outside rail. The outside rail is always the outside rail. And here the red, the hot, the center rail is always the center rail. And when they come together, there's no conflict whatsoever in here. So in 3-rail systems, reverse loops are no problem whatsoever. You can have as many as you want, put them wherever you want, no special wiring required. The train will figure it out on its own because the hot and the common are always separate, and you don't need to switch them back and forth. So I hope that clears things up for those who might be confused on this. And that's one of the reasons why Lionel chose to stay with 3-rail track instead of 2-rail track, is that the reverse loop on a small layout adds a lot of interest, and it's an easy thing to do. And rather than have kids and parents get frustrated with problems with the wiring, they decided to leave it this way. So I hope you like this short video. If you do, like it, share it, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. We'll see you next time on Toy Train Tips and Tricks. And until then, keep the trains running.